Hi, I'm Piker Biker, and today I'm going to be targeting Barbel and Chub. It's the middle of winter, getting towards the back end of January now, and I'm going to be fishing the lower river Ribble. I'm actually taking the scenic route down to the river today. I mean, I could have took the easy route further down there, and that's used by a lot of cyclists and runners and walkers, but me being me, I love the adventure, so I've come down to the very steep path which leads down from Red Scar Wood down to the weir here, and I haven't slipped yet, which is a bit of a change. So I can just hear that weir in the background just behind me, and that indicates that there's quite a lot of extra water in the Ribble, which is good news really for me. There's a good opportunity today to catch a nice river barbel. So I'm walking through Red Scar Wood, and just to give you an idea of whereabouts I am, I'm actually stood above Horseshoe Bend. Just down there is the River Ribble. It's a very steep bank, and if I was to look straight across there, the river will come round in a big horseshoe, and you can actually see that as the river continues. You'll just see the river in the distance over there, and that will lead you up towards Ribchester. So a very, very famous stretch of woodland, and also a very famous stretch of the River Ribble. There's a lot of big oak trees and beech trees here, and this one here's had a bit of an accident, and it's came down, just blocking my path. So I'm gonna have to negotiate this path, but won't be long till I'm down on the River Ribble, hopefully catching some nice River Ribble winter chub and barbel. Going to be using pellets today. Quite a nice day really for it. There's no rain due. It's a grey day, it's mild, it's maybe 8 degrees. So everything's looking good for the Ribble today. And just over to my right, so that was the left side of the path, Horseshoe Bend to the left, River Ribble. To the right is Brockholes Nature Reserve. And you can just see the big lake that used to be a quarry just down there, and I'm going to be fishing just downstream from this weir, which I'll show you next. As I suspected, there's quite a lot of extra flow on the weir today, which is excellent. Everything's looking good for a good session on the Ribble, and I think I might just catch a barbel today. Happy days. Well, I made it down to the river without incident, and look at this wonderful weir here on the River Ribble. Isn't it beautiful? Well, I've arrived down here at the River Ribble. This is the lower Ribble, and temperature's quite warm. The air's warm. The water temperature's quite warm. The water colour, slightly coloured, which just suits today perfect. So we should be catching fish today. I'm going to be using pellets, lassoed on a 1.5 foot long hook length to a feeder. And I'm not going to be feeding a lot, it is winter. But in that feeder I'm going to be using, similar to what I use in the summer, scalded pellet to block each end, and lots of little pellets of different sizes in the middle. So without further ado, let's get this party started and catch some barbel and chub. Happy days. I'm just getting a couple of knocks here. It's probably fish bouncing off the feeder, trying to get the feed out of the feeder. But eventually they're going to find my hook bait. This is the hook bait I'm using today. It's only a little 10mm halibut pellet. Absolutely stinks. And these are the little pellets of all different sizes that I'm putting inside the feeder. This is my bucket of scalded pellet. All that pellet's been scalded. You can squeeze it into a ball very easily. And that's what I use to plug the feeder both ends. I'm also using a spicy sausage flavouring. That's very sticky, it sticks to the bait. With the water being up a little bit, I need to use a smelly bait, that's why I've used the flavouring today. Yeah, I was getting a couple of taps there. It must be hitting the feeder. Could be a shoal of smaller fish just hitting the feeder. Then again, it could be a barbel. Just plucking the line with its whiskers as it feeds. Come on, you lovely fish. The guy over at the other side must think I'm a plunker. Okay, while I'm waiting for the fish to bite, I'm going to show you how to tie a lasso knot. You might have heard me saying before that I've used a lasso hair rig, and the reason I like the lasso is it's cheap. You don't need to pay for any bait rigging tools. Basically, you're attaching this pellet to this piece of line or braid, doesn't really matter. In this occasion I'm using braid, and the only other thing you need is a hook. And I'm going to show you how to do this now. So you'll need a pair of scissors, some line or some braid, and a pellet and a hook of your choice. So this is very simple. You need I'd cut about a foot and a half, maybe a foot and a half or just over. You can start with 2 foot if you're comfortable with that. Snip it. So here you have about 2 foot of line or braid. Then I strip about 10 inches of the braid at the end. So measure roughly about 10 inches with your nails or with a pair of scissors or something sharp. Just strip back the coating if it has coating. There we are. As you can see, there's your coated part, and there's your stripped back part. Maybe take another inch off that. Now this will be the part that you'll be working with, the stripped part. And all you have to do, it's very, very simple, is make a little loop in your line like that, a bit like a kid's balloon, and just leave. Now this is the bit you're going to be wrapping around, so that's maybe just a little bit too short, so start your loop a little bit closer to where you've stripped it. There's your loop, and then you've got a very large tag end just hanging over. Just pinch the loop. Then with this finger, this free finger, trap the line around it and bring the line back up into the pinch. So there, what you're left with basically is, there's the main part of the braid, which is coated. This is the uncoated part, and this is the bit that you've got to go round through the loop and round the line 4 times. So like this. 1. So it goes through the hoop, through the loop and underneath, over the top. 2. So it gets a little bit fiddly at times. So 1, I've not went through the second time. 2. And back round. 3. And you can even go 3 or 4. I prefer 4, it just gives it that extra bit of security against the pellet. And 4. Then all you do is pull that bit tight. You've got this loop now. You can pull that as tight as you want. Just with the tag end in your teeth, pull quite tight. That secures the knot. Now you've got this loop, which is now a slip, what we call a slip knot. Now this loop can be any size. It's very good. You can put a size 21mm pellet in there, no problem. You can put a size 8mm pellet in there, no problem. In this case, I'm going to be putting a 14mm pellet in the loop. Very easy. And all you do is you pull the knot 2, just pull it tight, and that's secured. Lost the fish. Just lost that one. Oh well. Try again. So once you have the pellet secured, now you can snip off that little tag end at the end, because you don't need that anymore. So that's snipped off, ready to attach the hook, and this is very simple. So you pick a hook that you want to use for the day, and I recommend using a hook that has, especially if you're using a coated braid, a large eye. So the Drennan Super Specialist is a good hook to try. So using a hook with a big eye, through the back of the eye with the braid, pull it down till it meets the pellet. So here you have pellet hanging off the back of the hook, and that's about right. You just want it where the bottom of the hook is just about almost touching the pellet, and just lock it in that position. And then with this, with your braid, you just wrap it around the shank like that. This is just like tying your normal hair rig. You can go around as many times as you want. I go around about 8 or 9 times, and then I want to come back through the eye, which is why I told you to use a large eye, because this is coated braid, and it'll struggle to get through if you use anything smaller than a large-eyed hook. There we are, it's just coming through. If you're struggling, you can just strip back a little bit of the backing and you'll just get it through. Like so. And there you have it. There's your hair-rigged lassoed pellet. And at the other end, all you want to do is tie an overhand loop in the line. Just make a little kitty's balloon again with the tag end, go through that loop twice. And there you have your loop in the other end for easy attachment to a swivel. There you are. That's all set up ready. And the other good thing about using a lasso is it's so easy to change your bait. You see that little loop that you've made? That lasso that you made, you can open that up again and just take the pellet out. There you have it, there's opened again, there's the pellet. This loop can be made bigger if you want to put a bigger bait on. So I'm going to put a bigger bait on here, size 18mm halibut. Just put the loop around the 18mm halibut. Same again, just tighten it down. You can use your thumb to press the knot snug against the pellet, and that's why I like doing four loops through at the very start. I said you can use 3 or 4 loops. I use 4 to tie that loop, and it just gives it a tighter knot, and that is perfect. No bait rig tools, nothing like that, you know, it's not costing you any money. And if you're using pellets, it's just the perfect rig. Another advantage of this is the fish doesn't feel anything on the hook at all. There's nothing on that. It can't feel anything. It's just a pellet. There's no bait stop, so especially carp sometimes can blow the bait back. But this is a tried and proven method, and I've caught loads of carp, barbel, chub, roach, dace. I've caught everything using this simple little hook length. So I've just had a little move upstream here. I had a couple of bites there. I lost the fish, and the angler on the opposite bank has also moved up. So it just gives me a little bit more space to play here. And I've caught fish in this swim before, so I'm going to give this wee swim a shot. So I'm going to set up here. So I was just about to take my rod in and set up in this new spot when my rod went off and I'm into a nice chub. So happy days. So here we have a lovely example of the specimen, the river chub. Huge mouths on them. Could fit plenty of pellets in there. Fantastic specimen. And now it's time to put it safely back into the Ribble to put some more weight on, and some other lucky angler will catch it when it's about a pound or 2 heavier. Off she goes. Happy days. So it's just about to get dark, and this is always a good time for catching a fish. I'd say in the first hour of darkness, possibly the first 90 minutes of darkness, is usually a really productive time, especially for chub. They seem to switch on about this time. I've already had one chub, and I'm quite confident I'm going to get one in the next half an hour. I'm not having any telltale sign knocks or anything like that yet, so the bait's been out there for about 20 minutes. So I think I'll just bring this one in, put a fresh pellet on, and put some more feed in the feeder and cast it right back out there. Well, time is now 17:19, 20 past 5. I just had a tap in this swim. I was just about to move back to the first swim then, and I got a whoop. I'll just give it another 5-10 minutes here. I don't get anything, then I'll move back to the first swim. Rod's just bent round, playing a nice fish. The way it's fighting, it could be a barbel. Cracking bend in the rod as well. This is a barbel. No chub left. Coming in a bit easier now. It could be a big chub. If this is a chub, it's a big chub. But the way it screamed off and ooh, that initial bang, no, indicates that this is a barbel. It's a barbel, alright. Happy days. Mission accomplished. I got my chub, now I've got my barbel. Oh, give me a good fight. It's not a monster, but it's a barbel. And there you have it. A nice big chunky Ribble barbel. And he took a big size 18 halibut pellet. Nice winter barbel in the Ribble. Doesn't get much better than this, does it? Happy days, let's put it back. Fish on here. Feels like a chub. The way the head's not going to feed like a chub. Donk, donk, donk. Yep, it's a chub. Happy days. Chub number 2. And there you have it. It's only a small one this time, but it's still welcome. Another lovely Ribble chub. Mwah.
let's put her back.